Welcome to Homework Lib.
Know that 3.17 grams of M2 plus is going to react with 0.158 mole of X minus to produce a compound with the formula MX2. We can represent this as M2 plus 2 of X minus is going to produce MX2. In this case, what we know is that since we have 0.158 mole of X minus, this is going to correspond to the following amount of mole of M2 plus, which is 0.079 mole of M2. But we're also given the mass of M2 plus, so we can calculate the molecular weight. It's going to be equal to the mass divided by the amount of mole. So it is going to be 3.17 grams divided by 0.079 mole. So the identity for M2 plus is going to be a compound with a molecular weight of 40.127 grams per mole. In this case, since our quantities only have three significant figures, we can round it up as 40.1 grams per mole, which corresponds to calcium 2 plus. So now we know the identity of M2 plus, which is calcium 2 plus. Now, the other information that we know is that 48.7% of MX2 corresponds to X by mass. So that means that out of the molecular weight for this compound, which would be equal to 40 grams per mole, which corresponds to the, 40.1 grams per mole coming from calcium 2 plus 2 times the molecular weight for X, or the 2 times the atomic mass of X. And from here, we know that if 48.7% corresponds to X, that means that 51.3% corresponds to M2 plus. So now we can apply a very simple rule of three. If 51.3% of the mass corresponds to 40 grams per mole, let's put 40.1 grams per mole, then 100% of the molecular weight, what is going to correspond? In this case, the result would be 78.168. Thus, the difference in between these two guys is going to be the mass corresponding to 2 atoms of X. Let's round it up as 17 here. Yeah, let's run this up as 78.2 actually. Let's just go ahead and do it like that. So that means that 78.2 minus 40.1 grams per mole is going to be equal to 2 times the molecular weight of the X atom. In this case, this is going to be equal to 38.1. Thus, the molecular weight of X is going to be equal to 19.05, which we can round up to 19 grams per mole, since we're not considering anything else. So the identity of X, if we look at the periodic table, is going to be equal to F minus. So the compound that we had initially was calcium fluoride. And with that, it would be all. Thank you very much and have a good one.